The Haunting Pause. Once upon a chilly October night, in a quaint suburban town, lived a young couple, Emily and David. They were both avid fans of horror movies and looked forward to their annual tradition of binge-watching scary films every Halloween Eve. This year, Emily had a special treat in store for David. She had managed to secure a rare, vintage horror film that was said to be cursed, adding an extra layer of intrigue to their spooky night. The film, titled The Haunting Pause, was notorious for strange occurrences reported by those who had watched it. But Emily, always adventurous, dismissed the tales as mere superstition. As the clock struck midnight, the couple settled onto the couch, popcorn in hand, and pressed play. The grainy black and white scenes unfolded, casting eerie shadows around the room. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, a shiver of excitement running down their spines. Just as the climax approached, a chilling scene filled with ghostly apparitions, the film suddenly froze. The room fell into an unnatural silence, the only sound being the faint ticking of the clock. Emily and David exchanged puzzled glances, but Emily, intrigued by the legend, insisted they keep watching. With a reluctant sigh, David agreed, and Emily hit play. The film resumed, but something felt different. The air seemed heavier, and the shadows seemed to move with a life of their own. The couple couldn't shake off the feeling that they were being watched. As the story reached its conclusion, the tension in the room became almost unbearable. Emily was on the edge of her seat, the suspense palpable. Suddenly, just as the climax hit its peak, the film froze again, this time with a distorted, ghostly face on the screen. A scream echoed through the room, but it wasn't from the film. It was Emily, her eyes wide with terror. David, too, felt a cold sweat forming on his brow. They fumbled to grab the remote and tried desperately to unpause, but the buttons were unresponsive. Panic set in as they realized the curse was real. The room grew colder, and strange, phantom whispers seemed to swirl around them. Emily and David's hearts raced, and they knew they had to do something. With trembling hands, they shut off the television, plunging the room into darkness. They held each other tightly, their breaths shaky. The oppressive feeling began to lift, but they knew they had made a grave mistake. The film, once paused, should never have been restarted. From that night on, Emily and David couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. Strange things happened around the house, objects moved on their own, and chilling whispers echoed in empty rooms. They knew they had to find a way to break the curse. With the help of an old, wise librarian, they learned of a ritual to undo the curse. It involved watching the film from start to finish, without any interruptions, and then burning it to ash. The couple summoned their courage and faced the eerie film once more. As the final credits rolled, they lit a fire and watched as the film turned to embers. With a sigh of relief, they felt the oppressive presence lift, and the room brightened. The curse was broken. From that day on, Emily and David vowed never to underestimate the power of a pause in a horror movie. They learned that some legends hold truths that should never be tested. And they lived the rest of their days with a newfound respect for the unknown.